Alright, here's my lineup today. I have my Rotor X Atom GT250, or 250 GT if you want to call it that. I got a little bit of juice left in my 1004 cell. That's 50C, but whatever. And then later on I'm just going to screw around with one of my favorite little customs I've built. This on 4S is kind of scary. I'm not an expert pilot by any means. I'm still learning how to do tricks in acro and so forth and so forth. So far everything seems to be working well. I could dial in the lens a little bit better, but the TPU mount is a little too thick, so maybe finding a smaller, thinner TPU mount to go around the neck of the camera, but you know, whatever. I'm using my Dominator SEs with my Axe UFL antenna. Now, right now I'm sitting at 262 grams. When I get the carbon fiber props, which are 50-30s, I'm hoping I drop that down to about 254-ish. Another thing I have coming that might help is I got some aluminum hardware coming, so I'm going to swap out the titanium screws, and yeah, that's not going to help too much. But other than that, maybe when we go to full development mule instead of just this hacked together job that I've built, we can redesign the canopy a bit. I was thinking, just for shits and giggles, when I go back to work, I'll get Mike in the composites department. I have those extra canopies, so I'll make a plug mold out of one of them and maybe get a carbon fiber canopy cover, which would be kind of cool. That would probably save me another 8 grams, and therefore this combination should all be less than 250 grams all up weight. It would also give me a provision to swap to a UFL antenna. Well, this is a UFL antenna, but I'm talking about the Axe UFL antenna because this little dipole gets kind of crappy reception. I want to change that. Other than that, another idea that I had was when we go to the 2-in-1 arm idea, where you have this arm connected from the front to the back right here at the joint. So you see here where the bolt comes through, just go straight back, so you have kind of like that shape. It'll save some more weight in the middle. Also, when you look at it, when you go to do that, you'll have tons of space underneath to stick an XSR, whatever radio receiver you have, and you can just run your antenna cables down the back arms. So that's another idea I had. So yeah, the F428 stack's working really well. Everything's pretty lukewarm. Like, well, the ESCs are not warm at all. The battery's not warm. The motors are just a shade lukewarm, but it's getting sufficient cooling. These little 2800s are friggin' amazing. So thank you guys for sending me that. If I were to do a 3S setup on an 850, which would give you a lot more room to play with, like the 3S 850 I have here, which is a Nanotech 45 to 90C discharge. That gets the weight down to around 230 grams. So you have now an additional 20 grams to play with, so you can go back to whatever props you want. These guys come in at about 4 grams a piece. Maybe a higher kV motor, so we'll go back to maybe like the 3600. I'm pretty sure we'll survive spinning a 5-inch prop of that on 3S, because this is very, very light setup, like just dinky. You probably wouldn't need the F425 at that point. What I would do is, there's a few combinations here. Like, I'm really waiting for the HGLRC F4 Titan to come through. So you'll have your PDB, ESC, flight controller all in one, and that's D-Shot 600 ready, and that's 2 to 5S. So on top of that, you can run a 4S 850, a 5S 850, or maybe the 750 that you're talking about coming down the pipe, Martin. You'll run that, a larger VTX that won't get as warm. Like the TX20 is pretty decent. It gets a tad bit warm, but nothing like the Echen TX03, which would get like so hot that it was melting the hot glue that I used to put the receiver down on top of it. So when you get the F4 Titan, you'll have one layer, your VTX, and then you'll have plenty of headroom in here. You could probably fit your receiver on top, but I do like the idea of putting the receiver under the deck when we modify the arms. So you'll have just a 2-layer stack. You can even get 2-in-1 ESCs at that point if you want, or yeah, so you'll get your 2-in-1 ESCs. You could probably get a flight controller with a built-in VTX. I think, who makes that? Flytower? Flytower has their own brand. Yeah, but like I said, like if we drop it to 850s, we'll have plenty of room to play with. We won't have to be as stingy as I've been trying to get a 4S 1000 to work under 250 grams. Like 850 is plenty of juice. On a 1000 though, the flight time is really good, but the 1000 kind of makes it a potato. So the 850 is probably the way to go on this. Anyways, I'm going to get some DVR down, and then I'll post this all in a private video on YouTube, and I'll send everything to you. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.